Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to LeTip Live. LeTip is an organization of like-minded individuals brought together to help each other's businesses grow and flourish. And today I have a special treat for you. We have our featured member of the month from our Communicare, which is episode or subscription, whatever you call it, issue. There you go. Issue 100. There you go. That's the word I'm looking for. From our issue 100, John Ortiz. Welcome to the show. Just kidding, as always. John is virtual. John, welcome to the show. Welcome to LeTip Live. How are you?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. When you said you went like this, I was thinking, oh, let me say hello. You got me. You got
Was
me.
I supposed to be there?
Yeah, it's like,
So yes, welcome John to the show. John is from our LeTip of Anaheim chapter, and if you are checking your Communicare, which you should be, it is emailed to you once a month with nice stories and stories of success and tips and tricks. If you check that out, you will see this beautiful cover of John Ortiz, our featured member of the month. So first and foremost, congratulations.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. It was a bit of a surprise.
Nice. Hard work is not a surprise. Hard work, dedication, always moving forward. That's what we shine here. So we want to get to know you a little bit more. We want to share some tips and tricks with our LeTip members here today. So let's just, we'll start simple and easy. John, what do you do?
Well, as I am the life agent for LeTip of Anaheim, and so what I do is, as a life agent, I help people grow their money risk-free and tax-free. And those are two things that everybody wants, but they don't know how to do it. So I help them with that.
Nice. Great stuff. So, what are some ways that you help them?
Well, I recently, in 2023, I found a platform that I really like. It's called Wealth United. And the benefit of that platform is it's kind of like it brings technology and life insurance together. And so they have two products that are fantastic. One's called the Debt Action Plan, and the other one is called My New Retirement. And so the benefits of this is that with the Debt Action Plan, you have it works on a whole life chassis. And so the design is using a whole life product. And so what it does is it's really simple for people because, most people have debt. And so what you get with the Debt Action Plan is that you get a guaranteed return on your money. And so you put your money into your whole life, and that whole life starts to grow, that cash value starts to grow. And then the technology kicks in. And so leading up to before you start the Debt Action Plan, you fill out a financial impact analysis, and we develop a report. So we know exactly what kind of financial situation that you're in. Everybody has a unique financial situation. So that program, what the Debt Action Plan, the technology does, is that it tells you and it tells your specialist when your cash value has grown so that you can pay off your debt. And so instead of having these big, instead of having debt like consumer debt or credit card debt like at 24%, you're able to pay it off in one shot because you're putting your money in, it's growing, it's compounding. It's compounding. When money compounds, that means that you're earning interest on interest, right? So it's growing, it's going fantastic. And it's very straightforward. It's very direct. It's very simple for people to understand this and to embrace it. It is something that it's kind of the conversations I have with people is the most common thing that people say is, why didn't anybody tell me about this? Why didn't I learn about it sooner? And I can't answer that, but what I normally tell people is, well, you know about it now. And we're going to help you get out of debt. And so I really believe in this product. It's a great product. I'm doing it for my own family as well. The second product is the My New Retirement. And what I really like about the My New Retirement is when you go through this process, and one of the things I like pointing out to people is that, we're not selling people on insurance. That we don't do that. What we do is we educate people on what is available to them. Debt action plan, my new retirement. It's all about numbers. It's all about math. And it's all about the technology tools that we have. So a lot of people, all of us who work, and some of us have 401k plans, we were told, put your money into 401ks, and then you're going to retire. You're going to have your Social Security, and you're ready to go. So let me tell you, there's not a lot of people know that they can actually run out of money on their 401k. So one of the tools that we have for the My New Retirement is that we take that information, your qualified and non-qualified plans, we put it into the system, and we show them, if you want to take out this much money and you're going to be doing this, you're going to be doing this, you're going to be doing this, you're going to run out of money when you're 72. You've been putting money in for 30 years. You're going to be running out of money when you're 72 or 75 or 79 or something to that effect. So what we do is, with the My New Retirement, we create the plan, keyword plan, so that you don't run out of money. So I have the conversations now so that people can do something about growing their income today, rather than, what are you going to do when you're 79 and you're out of money? It's too late, right? I'm 53. And I'm having to hustle, because now I'm using the tools myself, and I'm sitting pretty good, probably better than most people, fortunately, because I've been an entrepreneur my whole life. However, there was some aspects of using that tool that kind of opened up some eyes for me, like, oh, you know what? I need to start putting something over here and over there, because, I don't have a lot of faith that Social Security is going to be there. I don't have a lot of faith that Medicare is going to be there. And we all know that taxes are going to go up. We don't like to talk about that. But with the amount of national debt, with the amount of inflation that's happening, with the amount of social services that are happening, taxes are going to go up. And they're not going to go up by a little bit. They're going to go up a lot. And so I went ahead and I embraced trying to find a solution for myself, my family, my career. And I found it in this group called Wealth United. And so that's what I do. Before, I used to have, and parts of my business, I still help people with tax credits. I still help people with, ERTC, research and development tax credits. I help people with SIMR, which is a payroll reallocation strategy. I help people with a lot of different scenarios, but I'm really 100%, just totally focused on the debt action plan and the My New Retirement.
Awesome. Great stuff. I do want to remind everyone at home that we are live. So if you have a question, comment, or concern, you put it in the comments section and we can answer it live with you today and with John. So John, this is awesome stuff. Very interesting. What made you get into this industry? How did you get from, point A to point B?
Well, I'll give you the short version. The short version is that I grew up in a family business, and in that family business, it was in the sign business, and it was a very substantial business. And when there was some transitions there where my father ended up selling the business, and I ended up basically not having a place to go, and my dad's clients started calling me, and the next thing you know, I started my own business. I'm 21 years old, still going to Cal State University, Fullerton, home of the Titans. Nice. And I started realizing, like, yeah, you know what, I can do this. So I went ahead and started it. And very, very shortly thereafter, my dad jumped on board and started working with me. And we grew, the business grew. It just was great. And I did that. I was in the lighting business, I was lighting up Disneyland, California Adventures,
Mm-hmm.
Disney World, Chase Bank, all the casinos in Vegas. And I was doing that, having a great time doing it. Then in 2013, I got an offer I couldn't refuse. And so I went ahead and sold. And by that time, I had created, 3 companies with a national footprint. We were all over the country doing things. I even did a 2-mile long bridge in the Yucatan. And it was great. It was fun. It was exciting. But in 2013, I sold everything, and I went with one of the buyers. One of the buyers wanted me to come along with them. I did that for 2 years, and I realized that I really enjoyed being an entrepreneur. So I decided to take a couple of contracts just to see what I wanted to do, and then I started a consulting business for sustainability consulting. And I did that. Really wasn't what it just wasn't something that was wasn't like really motivating for me. I understood it. I knew how to do it well, but it just wasn't something that was really waking me up in the morning, right? And so then I ended up selling that, and then COVID hit, the country shut down, and I started to really think like, what is it that I'm going to do? And so I have a circle of influence that's very diverse. I got, lawyers and engineers and project managers and just a variety of people, government employees, all that kind of stuff. And we all I started talking, right? And then the idea started coming up, and it just, life insurance just kept on, being introduced, and it started trickling up. And so then I started reading, started researching, and then September 2020, I passed the test, and I start going. And I really enjoy helping people, because with life insurance, you are number one, more than anything in life insurance, you are protecting an individual, an individual's family, the people that they care about. And so that's what I was doing. And I enjoyed myself. I was helping people. I was helping families. I was helping businesses. And then I started, again, because of the years of business of running national organizations. Hey, John, can you help us with this? Hey, John, can you help us with that? I got involved in tax credits. I started getting involved with sales strategy, helping people grow their business. And then that's when I there was a point there where I didn't quite feel like I was getting what I needed on the networking side by being associated with chambers, chambers of commerce. And, in my experience, it almost seemed like, the people at the chambers were picking winners and losers. And it just wasn't something that I felt was right for me. And so I started to kind of separate myself. And I was in leadership positions in a couple of different chambers. And then September 2021, I pulled the trigger and I started LeTip of Anaheim.
Awesome. So you started the chapter.
Yeah.
Nice. And you're the president right now, right?
Yep. President and founder.
Awesome. Great stuff. So this is kind of like segues into, my next couple questions. How did you find LeTip, and how did you get involved with LeTip?
That's a great story. That's a great story, because how like they say, it's a really small world. Right. Well, I met a gentleman by the name of Jeff Krolowski. Okay. I met him through the Anaheim Chamber, and he was an ambassador with me. And I believe he was the president of the ambassador group. And, he and I got along really well. He's a great guy. He's a natural born leader. He's wonderful, and just he's authentic. Right. And he and I just got to talking. I was telling him what was going on, and he knew where I was at. And he's like, yeah, let's get together for coffee. I was like, okay. So there's a little place up in Yorba Linda that, we met at, and we sat there and we talked, and we were just talking, 2 guys talking. And then that's when he told me about LeTip. And he goes, have you ever heard of LeTip? And I said, I don't think so. And he's like, yeah, check this out. And he showed me LeTip Wired. I was like, huh, that's pretty cool. He said, you should come to one of our meetings. I was like, okay. So the very following next week, I went to one of his meetings, and it was like 6:30 a.m., like a freaking shot of adrenaline. It was like people were like, wow, wow, wow. You know, it was like, holy jeez. It was like they were really, and so what I really noticed is that there were these, there are tables of 8, right? And they, they got 50 members in their chapter, right? So pretty big group. And so I have my breakfast, right? Because they serve breakfast, and I'm walking around, and each table they have like 2 open seats, right? And they're like, oh, you can join us, and oh, you can join us, and oh, you can join us. And I was like, wow, everybody friggin' wants me to join them. That's awesome. But then across the room there, I saw my CPA. And I was like, I walked over, I go, what are you doing here? He goes, I'm a member of LeTip. And I go, you are? And he goes, yes. I go, why didn't you tell me about it? And he goes, John, I've told you about it. You just weren't interested. I was like, I must have not been in the right mindset. Okay. So I sat there and we all talked, and my CPA's known me since I was 17 years old. He was my father's CPA. And so we got to talking, and everything was sitting there talking and everything. And they went through the meeting. Then Jeff calls me up there and says, asked me a couple of questions, all this other kind of stuff. And I walked out of there. Now I'm a life agent, and they already had a life person there. And so I walked out of there thinking to myself, wow, I was really pumped up. I was like, wow, this is it is a contrasting, it's like night and day. Apples, oranges, whatever analogy you want to use. It was the day and night, whatever it is, man. It was like my chamber experience, LeTip. And so I was like, man, this is pretty cool. A couple of days later, Jeff calls me up. He says, we looked around. Everybody pretty much has that category full. With your experience, John, running groups, I was the director of lead groups at the North Orange County Chamber. You should probably just start your own chapter. And I was like, you think so? He goes, yeah, totally. And so so he introduced me to a gentleman by the name of Doug, and I went ahead and started chatting with him. And next thing you know, I started my own chapter September 21st, 2022. No, wait, 2021. Sorry. And so it was me, myself, and I. And so I started making calls. And so the first person I called. And so the first 3 people that I called said, yeah, man, I want to do it. And so they went ahead and they joined up. And so we were small. We were small until about, and when I say small, we were under 10 people for probably a year. And then we did the Orange County Business Expo in October. And we had over 200 people. And the people that purchased tables had a combined sales of $800,000. And I promoted the hell out of that on LinkedIn. And the next thing you know, our guests were like, whoosh. I was like, bing, 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 bing. So in 2022, we did $2.7 million in business. And so Summer's like, fantastic, man. This is your first full year and you're already at 2.7 million. For 2023, we'll probably break 5.
Very nice.
So I'm pretty stoked about it. I think it's really great. And that's, that's how I got to LeTip.
Awesome. Great stuff. So, I asked this question to everybody. Everyone who comes on the show, and I asked them what LeTip means to them. So what does LeTip mean to you?
Wow, that is a loaded question. I think the best way to describe LeTip is, for me, it's
Mhm.
my way of building trust with people. When you meet somebody every single week, you get to see them every week, right?
Mhm.
So if you meet somebody once or twice, they can put on their best face, right? The
Mhm.
good first and second impressions. But
Mhm.
when you meet somebody every single Wednesday at 11:30, they're there. You get to meet the real person, right?
Mhm.
They get to meet you, your real person, and you
Mhm.
get to build that trust. You get to share. You get to share. And as you
Mhm.
build that trust and you develop that relationship, you develop a friendship. And as you develop a friendship, you develop the interest of wanting to help your friend. And
Mhm.
so, and when I say they want to help you, you want to help a friend, it's not about giving them tips. It's about helping them with their pitch. It's about helping them pursue a line of business that maybe they haven't seen before. I'll give you an example. We have a great guy. His name is Jordan Poggle. He's health and fitness coach, and I've listened to his presentations. I've seen his website. I've talked to him one on one, and I told him, I said, I think you should really think about developing a wellness program for companies.
Mhm.
And he's like, what do you mean? I go, I think you're missing this. I think this is a big money maker for you. I think you should really pursue it. So he did his own research. I introduced him to some people. He ended up finding the right platform that he was looking for. And now he's created this new channel of business for himself that will support his health and fitness business, because
Mhm.
he gets to talk to all these company employees for their wellness program, right?
Mhm.
And so he is able to give them the information that they're looking for. And the idea and the concept is as they grow that business, as he grows that wellness business, he's going to have prospects. There's going to be people there that are going to they want to go above and beyond the wellness program into using a health and fitness coach. And so I laid that idea out for him, and he was like, hey man, I like that idea. More so, not only did he like that idea, his fiance liked that idea. So in the end, it's something where he was able to expand his business without really having to take on new investment, having to invest something. So what does it mean to me about LeTip? It gives me the opportunity to build trust, build relationships, and develop a collaborative environment. And that's the joy that I get out of being in LeTip.
Awesome. Great stuff. Do want to remind you guys that we are live. So if you have a question for John, please put them in the comments section. So here's my question for you, John. Your group is rocking and rolling. You guys are doing very well, building great relationships. So what kind of tips or tricks you would have for a newer member, or some tips for someone who maybe just joined LeTip? Do you have any tips or tricks for that for someone who just joined LeTip?
People that join any LeTip or people that join my chapter?
Any LeTip. Hey, we're live across the nation, so
Okay.
any tips that you can give for a LeTip member to help them in their journey?
Okay. So the first three things that every new member should do is they should
Mm-hmm.
go and look at the member roster, and
Okay.
they should identify all the people in their roster that are complementary to their business.
Mm-hmm.
So for example, I'm a life agent, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so having a great relationship with the financial advisor is great. Having a
Mm-hmm.
relationship with the real estate agent is great. Having a
Mm-hmm.
having a relationship with the residential mortgage person is great. Those are the kinds of things that really work together to
Mm-hmm.
complement your efforts. So I have this belief that there's you have to do things from a collaborative perspective. You got to collaborate with people in order, because I can sit there and, promote my business, but what I have been doing for my group is I've been saying, hey, we need to collaborate. Everybody needs to collaborate. So the first thing you do, you identify the members that are complementary to your business. That's the first thing. The second thing that you do is you ask all of those members to have a one-on-one with you in person. Okay, in person. And then the third thing that you do is you participate in the meeting. You don't sit there and just sit there and wait to answer. You actually have to jump out. You got to get out in front and say, hello, how are you doing? You're a new member, so you're not on a committee, you're not a chair, you're not a board member. So you got to engage. You have to go to, like, say, the business mixers, right? If that's something that you want to do, go to the chair. It's like, hi, my name is John. I'm new to as you know, I'm a new member, but I'd like to help you. What can I do to help you in your committee for the business mixer? And they're going to turn around and say, yeah, I'd love to get your help. And then you help. And so those are the three things that I would say, that's what the three things that you need to do. And if you do that, number one, you're going to get more exposure for your business. Number two, you're going to start. It's the fundamental start of developing a power partnership agreement. And then number three, you're going to get referrals, because people are going to know who you are. And that's what it's all about.
Awesome.
That's what I would recommend for somebody new.
Awesome. Great stuff. And we are live. The comments are pouring in. DP is giving you thumbs up. Rick says, looking good, Doug. Thank you very much. John's looking good as well. Rick also says, power partners, thumbs up. Creating power partners is the best way. And it's true. You have to work the room. So thank you guys for the comments. And we are live. So put a question in the comments section. We can answer it live with John today. So we cover a lot of things. We covered, what you do, LeTip, how you got involved. We got some tips on LeTip. How about any tips or tricks for ensure your success? Anything? Obviously, everyone should be contacting you and going over their situation with you. But are there any tips and tricks that people can do today on their own?
Yes. Well, insurance, a lot of people don't like to talk about life insurance. In some cultures, I'm Latino, and Latinos don't like to talk about death, right? And when you talk with a Latino family, especially if they're on the older side, they'll say "con el favor de Dios," which is with God's favor, meaning He will look down upon us and reward us, and that is great and that is wonderful. And I'm a religious man myself; I'm Catholic. However, what I like to tell people is that they need to prepare for their future. And regardless if you work with me or you work with one of my national experts, as a regional vice president, I have a team of national experts all across the United States, right? And so I have that ability to connect people that are in Florida with somebody that's in Florida. But however, if you do not work with me, the number one thing that you should always do before you purchase life insurance is that you should do a financial analysis report. You need to know what is your debt, what qualified programs you have, what unqualified programs you have, what kind of mortgage debt, what kind of consumer debt, how much money do you have in savings, what kind of auto loans do you have. All of this you should absolutely do. If you are going to get life insurance, which every person should have life insurance, the first step is to make sure before you sign on the dotted line, before you do any of that, you make sure that you get a financial analysis report. Now, the financial analysis report that we do is extremely robust, very robust. We don't charge for it. People can come, they can do it. And you see, because we're educating people, we're helping them to understand their financial life. That's what we're trying to do. So the key point there is you got to get financial analysis, because you need to know where you're at, not where you're going. You need to first know where you're at. And if you don't know where you're at, how do you know where to go? Right? And so you have to have a plan. And so, and then the next thing that I would tell people is identify what your goals are. I just want to protect my family. Okay, that's admirable. How about retirement? Are you interested in retirement? Well, I got Social Security. And so then we'll have a conversation about Social Security. Well, I have this. I have, it's identify your goals. Where do you want to be at 65? Where do you want to be at 75? Where do you want to be at 85? Those are the kinds of things. The third thing that I tell people, again, whether they're working with me or not, long-term care. Long-term care in life insurance is coming down the road. In Washington, they implemented it. It was a disaster in how they implemented it, but they're working through it. New York, they're implementing it. California, they're looking to implement it 2024, 2025. Now, here's the big thing. Long-term care, state-sponsored, there is going to be a payroll tax that's going to be levied upon people that do not have a long-term care protection. And you're going to have to pay that new tax. Like, you don't pay enough taxes, right? It's going to be another tax. And it's going to be run by the state. And if you're anything like me, Doug, do you think the state knows how to run the DMV?
Oh, absolutely not.
So do you? So
not here in Jersey. Not here in Jersey.
Okay, in California, the state doesn't know how to run the DMV either, right? And so, do you really want them running your long-term care? That's what I tell people, and everybody says no. It's like, hey, does the city, does the state, do they know how to manage your roads in your city? No, not at all. There's potholes everywhere. Okay. So do you want them running your long-term care? Do you want them running that protection that you're going to have? Everybody, I've yet to hear anybody say, oh yeah, I absolutely want the state. I absolutely want my state to run my long-term care and retirement. Absolutely. I have 110% faith in them that they're going to do an amazing job for me. Yeah. It's never been said. So those are the three things that you should be on the lookout. And again, anybody can contact me. I'll have a conversation with anybody, right? If you're interested and all you want a second opinion, I'll give you a second opinion. You want to go through the financial analysis, I'll run you through the financial analysis. Again, I have an entire team, I have an entire team that supports me. So I myself don't do every single financial analysis, but I'll put you in with an expert. They'll take care of it, and know and understand that this is about educating you on how to buy the best life insurance solution for your family and for yourself.
Great stuff. So, if people are going to get in contact with you, we should probably give them your email address, right? Are you okay with that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. So you should definitely hit up John. John, make sure I got the spelling right here. It's john@insureyoursuccess.com. Spelling is not my forte, so I hope I hope I nailed that one for you.
You nailed it.
Nice. You better be talking to John if you want any tips, tricks, and you just want to go over your situation. It's definitely a good idea to shoot him an email. We want to make sure you guys know we got some comments coming in. The free market has struggled with long-term care for sure. The government won't be able to administer it. Absolutely right, Rick. So yeah, you definitely want to make sure you have your situation under control. Definitely email John. We're coming to the end. So like last chance, if you have a question, comment, concern for John, now's your last chance to put it in the comment section. John, anything else that we haven't covered that's on top of mind? What's going on with you lately?
I'm happy. I'm happy. My
Nice.
9-year-old little girl is
Nice.
she's great. She's
Mm-hmm.
she's testing well above her grade level.
Nice.
My wife, she's doing great in her role where she's at. She's a leader in her organization.
Mm-hmm.
My business is going very well. I'm fortunate that I made the right choice of being on the Wealth United platform.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of people there that want to help people, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm fortunate to have such a strong networking group in LeTip of Anaheim.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so you know what? I wake up every day wanting to make a difference and to do things better. Do things better that I did yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Um, and if I can help some families and some individuals along the way um, eliminate their debt and grow their wealth simultaneously. I
Mm-hmm.
got a great video for the debt action plan. I got a great video for the My New Retirement. Anybody
Mm-hmm.
that watches the video, I promise, I'm not going to call you and badger you. I'm not going to sick a virtual assistant on you to call you 15
Mm-hmm.
times. We don't do that. We don't recruit people. We retain people. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
so what we do is we put the information out there, and we have these appointments where people can join in and ask questions and learn. And so the big takeaway is that we teach people how to buy life insurance, whether you buy it from us or you buy it from somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
We teach you what to look for and what not to do. And then on top of all of that, we also have I myself, because of my experience, I have peripheral services in conjunction with my LeTip. You're a business owner and you're looking, I don't care where you are in the country. If
Mm-hmm.
you're a business owner and you're looking to reduce your daily expenses, your operating expenses, I have a conversation with me because
Mm-hmm.
I can help you reduce your operating expenses. I have yet to come across a business that
Mm-hmm.
I have not reduced their operating expenses. Not one. Not one
Nice.
time have I ever said, "Oh, you know what? I don't got anything." I'm like, and so I can help people. I can point them in the right direction for a variety of different services that can save them money. I can put them in touch with the right people to help them grow their presence online. I can put
Mm-hmm.
them I can put them in touch with say you don't have an estate planning solution set up. I got people for that. Um,
Mm-hmm.
all of those types of scenarios, I leverage my group. My group is my collaboration. That's my environment where I come back, I bring it, and
Mm-hmm.
I can help people buy a house. I can help people buy an investment property. I just connect them to the right people. And so that's what I do.
Awesome. Awesome. Great stuff. As always, comments in the comments section. And you should definitely be emailing John at insureyoursuccess.com. Go over your situation and he can save you some money. Now, there's one thing we didn't talk about, John. I didn't even prep you for this. It's the speed round. Are
Oh,
you ready
oh
for the
my
speed round?
no.
You're
No.
not?
Hold on a
That's right.
second.
Good. Good. I did my job right. We don't prepare anything for the speed round. Half the people don't even know it exists. We're gonna rapid fire questions at you. It's nothing serious. We're gonna start a ticker, and first thing that comes to mind,
Is
and we're
it
gonna
multiple choice or is it just
no, it's fill in the blank.
oh gee. Okay.
Fill in the blank. Rick
All right.
Rick says you Rick says you can do it. He has faith in you. He has
Okay.
faith in you. All
You
right,
can
here
do
we
it.
go. Ready? Let's hit the ticker. All right. Favorite color.
Orange.
Favorite food.
Tacos.
Favorite movie.
Top Gun.
Nice. Favorite TV show or something you're streaming, Netflix or whatever.
Hawaii Five-0.
All right, all right. Favorite book.
Gosh, damn! All Quiet on the Western Front.
Okay. How about a favorite business book that a business owner should read?
I don't have the exact title, but it's something. Gosh darn it! What the heck is that called? I think it's like The Life of Zero.
Okay.
It's a book about zero debt.
Something about zero.
It's a zero debt.
All right, all right. Favorite sport.
The only sport that I'm left with that is just a sport, I would say, Major League Baseball.
Okay. Favorite team.
Angels.
Awesome. Do you have a favorite NFL team? Do you like the NFL?
No, I don't do the NFL. I do college football, but I don't do NFL.
All right. Favorite college team.
USC.
Okay, great. Favorite hobby that has nothing to do with your business.
Photography.
Nice. What did you do last weekend?
I do everything with my family, with my little girl and my wife. So last weekend we went to swim class. Then we went to a party. Then we had a wonderful dinner, and then the next day was errands, and then we had a wonderful dinner. But we alternate the opposing week the next week is we're at Disneyland. So we live 5 minutes from Disneyland. So we go to Disneyland 50 times a year because I told my little girl when she was 3, I said, sweetheart, if you do good every week at school, I will take you to Disneyland. And so she did great. And then she's like, Daddy, I did great this week. Are we going to Disneyland? And I talked to the teacher. She goes, she did wonderful. And I was like, okay. So I talked to my wife and she says, well, let's buy a pass. And every Friday I was taking my little girl to Disneyland.
Very nice. That's a pretty big carrot. It's a pretty big carrot to dangle. But you're fulfilling it and taking her to Disney World. Great job. That's awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
Favorite dessert.
I would say creme brulee. Awesome.
You survived the speed round. Congratulations. Nicely done. Yes. Everyone's rooting for you. Everyone's giving you thumbs up and a great job. So yes, last chance. I think we covered everything. Last chance for questions, comments, concerns in the comments section. John, any questions, comments, concerns for me or anyone out there?
Gosh, this was actually really fun. I was a little nervous about it. I think I mentioned that to you. I told my wife, I was like, it's a little concerning. And she's like, well, what's so concerning? I was like, going to be talking for an hour. I was like, do I have enough things to say for an hour to fill an hour? She's like, sweetheart, I've known you for 26 years and you've never really had a problem talking. So, I think you're going to be just fine. And I was like, okay. And so she called me at 8:30 and she says, hey, good luck on your podcast. And so this is the first time I've ever done this. I've never done a video until yesterday. So I've never done a video until yesterday. Never done a podcast. So here I am doing the podcast. I was never on a cover of a magazine until Communicare. So
a big month for you.
Yeah, this is a big month, man. I'm enjoying myself. I was like, wow. So I think that's something that I'm going to be doing in the future. So start putting out a little more video on LinkedIn. And so anybody that hears my voice is listening to this to this podcast, please connect with me on LinkedIn.
Absolutely.
And especially if you're in Southern California. And so, if I may, I have an after work mixer next Thursday. It's open. It's open to everybody. So we're having it in Irvine. We actually have to raise the capacity because we were in a spot that was the second largest spot at that event place. And we're already hitting we're a week out and we've already hit the maximum. So we're going to
have to make it bigger now because you just invited the whole nation.
So we're going to the next level, the largest space that they have at that event center. And so we're gonna raise our capacity from 50 to 100 because we're two tickets away from selling out at 50. So we're going to raise it up to 100. Last month we sold out. We were at a wine tasting bar, and literally people were shoulder to shoulder, and people are just, man, this is great. I was like, and it's free, so it's like that's what we did. So if you're in Southern California and you're interested in networking and you want to meet a bunch of people that are like-minded, send me an email and I'll get you a ticket or register you, or you can find us on Eventbrite.
Awesome. Great stuff. Like John said, there's his email below. I'm sorry, John. Your wife was wrong. You weren't just fine. You were great. Thank you for joining us today. Anything else you'd like to share as we wrap up?
Yeah. When are we going to do it again?
Oh, well, let's as soon as possible. So we will definitely have you back. We'll bring more tips and tricks from John Ortiz from LeTip of Anaheim. Thank you so much, John, for coming and joining us.
Thank you.
Awesome. And thank you guys for watching LeTip Live, and we'll see you next time.